Good morning! So today I'm back in Liverpool for a nostalgic trip back to my old school, the Liverpool Institute High School for boys. It holds many memories, both good and bad. We had the free concert from old boy Paul McCartney, and I even got to wave to the Pope as he passed by in his Pope mobile. Enjoy.
A free concert for children from his old school. It's the start of his British tour with Wings, the group that's helped to make him the world's most highly paid pop composer. Ken Rees went along to listen to the music.
Even £100 on the black market won't find you a ticket to watch Paul McCartney's return to Merseyside. It's a sellout. So many young fans couldn't buy tickets that McCartney decided to put on a free show for all 900 boys and girls at his old school, the Liverpool Institute. So, along with 500 local handicapped youngsters, they took an afternoon off to head for a lesson in pop from their best-known and wealthiest old boy. He explained why.
Well, we were doing preview shows and stuff, and it seemed like a good idea just to ask the kids from the school. Because when I was at the school, we only ever went to, like, speech day or sports day. We never had a night out.
You're going to give them a real night out tonight, huh?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully enjoy it.
I attended the Liverpool Institute High School for boys, or the INI, from 1976 to 1981 after passing my 11 plus. It was a massive shock to my system coming from a council estate on the outskirts of Liverpool called Cantrell Farm, later renamed Stockbridge Village in an effort to clean up its image. My primary school, Mab Lane, was literally a 5-minute walk away, and now I had a 5-mile journey with 2 buses. I would get up at 7 a.m. each morning to make the hour-long trip. The building itself was really imposing, especially the front facade and the massive circular hall with its upper and lower seating. That's me, front row, second from the right. There used to be a school rule that if you couldn't see the top of the cathedral because of fog, mist or snow at 3 o'clock, then we could all go home. They were happy days. I had my first pint in a pub called G Crack just around the corner after bunking out of lessons. I remember watching Phil Collins on the big screen of Leaving Me As Easy. I think it must have been 1981, just before I left school. We were often late to lessons in the morning as we would play about 15-a-side football in the yard with a tennis ball. Then there were the after-school fights around the corner under archways in Roscoe Street. Probably the worst of all was the Golly Pit, which was a small tiny courtyard with railings around, where you'd be pushed down and spat on, hence the name Golly Pit. Happy days indeed. The school closed in 1985 and lay derelict until the mid-90s, when with the help of Paul McCartney it became the Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts, or LIPA, opening in 1996. Amongst the many famous former pupils were Arthur Askey, Derek Hatton, Bill Kenwright, newsreader Peter Sissons and Alan Durbin, who went on to become one of the founder members of the Everyman Theatre. 300 pupils went on to either Cambridge or Oxford, but probably the most famous of all were George Harrison and Mike and Paul McCartney. John Lennon attended the art college next door. I was lucky enough to be sat in a class in 1979 when Paul came in and swapped his trench coat for a school tie with Jimmy Jamieson, probably because he was the biggest lad in the class. That evening we were treated to a free concert by him and his band Wings at the Royal Court, Liverpool.
Paul McCartney's old school, the Liverpool Institute near the Anglican Cathedral. 3 years after leaving, Paul was internationally famous, overshadowing the school's previously most celebrated old boy, Arthur Askey. But today, the former member of the Quarrymen, as the Beatles were called in 1960, is going back to school, or rather, the school's paying him a nostalgic visit. His band Wings is giving a free concert for all 600 pupils in Liverpool's Royal Court Theatre. Hoping to meet him is his former geography teacher, Blip Parker.
Mr. Parker, what can you remember of Paul when he was at school, when he was in your geography class?
I remember he was a very bright and cheerful lad who did a reasonable amount of work for a boy of his age.
Was he a studious academic type?
One would hardly call him that.
How many times have you seen him since he left the Liverpool Institute?
Just once, and that was very soon after he'd left.
This was before he was famous, was it?
Yes, before he was famous.
And what was that occasion, then?
He was repaying a small debt, actually, to my wife.
What was that?
A sixpence that he'd borrowed to go to the cinema.
Do you think that he will feel slightly embarrassed or nervous when he sees you?
I don't think so.
It is you too. I wasn't sure if it's old Blip himself. Yeah, great. And this is a representation of the lads.
Yes, there's quite a few of them.
Still as lousy looking as they were when I was there. We used to sit in class, you know, and he'd just say, "Right, boys, dictation." And he'd just have to dictate the whole lesson. It was like secretarial. Does he still do that?
Yeah.
A glacial explosion and a lateral moraines.
Paul failed art at A-level, and as if to make amends, the school's art teacher presents him with a gift.
And this is on behalf of the staff and the boys.
God, blimey, they freaked out since I went there.
That's painted by one of our sixth forms.
Stan Reed. Go mad, wouldn't it? What's all this? Filthy language.
That's not directed at you. It's an illustration, actually.
We're broad-minded, these two. Great. It's great. What is it?
There are about 1,500 Liverpool children, including those from Paul's old school, in the theatre for the free concert. Their response is on the enthusiastic side of idolatry.